Welcome back to the Hub.
And welcome to our guests Adam and Ahmed from Hey Gibraltar.
Hi guys.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hello, it's great to be here.
Very well.
Back on GBC.
Yes, so soon as well.
Yeah, we were speaking before whilst we were getting our makeup done that your goal was to be on GBC by the end of the year, and we're only in March and you're already here twice.
It's happened in 6 weeks. We've been on twice. So it's been fantastic. So thank you so much for...
Should we worry about our jobs or...?
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
So you're here to talk, about Hey Gibraltar.
Yes.
Very engaging on Facebook. Got a podcast as well. I mean, a lot to uncover in a short period of time, but tell us a bit about the idea, your love for Gibraltar.
Yes, so this started back in 2017. I was married in Gibraltar, a Gibraltarian wife, and then we went back to Edinburgh. And ever since then, we've been coming on holidays, but my heart has been here with Gibraltar. So I've always wanted to come back. As the start of this month, we came back, February. Last month, we came back to make it our permanent home. And I wanted to share the passion that I had for Gibraltar. It was absolutely incredible. So we wanted to share our passion, and then I met Adam along the way as well, who also had a similar experience.
Because you guys have only been friends for, I think, 37 days to be exact.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found Ahmed the same way a lot of people have found him, just on Facebook, because the page was beginning to grow.
Yeah.
And you can tell very quickly when you see someone online the authenticity behind it. That's why I reached out. If it was no disrespect to some people, but when you can tell it's people just trying to get a quick buck from putting themselves sort of on the camera, it wasn't like that. It was authentic, it was real, and it was something that I wanted to be a part of. From my perspective, I came to Gibraltar last year for just a holiday, but I fell in love with it the moment that I arrived, and I came back again in the winter just to see how it was, just to see if it was for me, and it felt exactly the same. We were chatting about that.
Yeah, like we mentioned downstairs, like Gibraltar has that pull, doesn't it? Like for your wife in particular, she probably always wanted to come home, and for you, as soon as you were out here, wanted to make Gibraltar home. And it's so interesting to listen to your podcast and to see all the stuff that you guys have been posting. There's a lot of stuff that maybe as a Gibraltarian, as a native, that I overlook, that we oversee, and your appreciation for our everyday stuff is so cool.
Yeah, that's why I think it stood out. The audience is because things that we're discovering every day about Gibraltar, we're just putting it out there, but people that live here pretty much take it for granted.
Absolutely.
So we're talking things about like recycling, or the fact that the buses are free, and all these little small things that everyone takes for granted, but we just love it as coming here. So it's like a surprise to us. So genuinely, the surprise on our face and in our voice on the podcast is genuine excitement.
And it's not all good. You've been tackling some important topics as well. I mean, you've done a podcast with Action for Housing.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
So that podcast came around because our initiative is to invite people inside the community to come and talk to us and have a real voice. So the Action for Housing was dealing with homelessness or people in deprived homes that everyday Gibraltarians would not be aware of. And that's why it was a bit more in depth, and it's actually the most popular episode that we've done because it really tackled some hard issues and allowed Gibraltar to look at itself really, and not just the hidden, we called it the hidden victims.
Yeah, I suppose, Adam, I was going to say this is kind of where you come into play a bit. You've got a love for politics, a passion for politics.
So it's twofold. I have a passion for politics, but it has to, again, comes back to it has to be authentic. There are people who just do it to kind of get a bit of power, really, but this was dealing with that sort of podcast particularly was dealing with some of the most vulnerable people in our society. People who had nothing. I think the term I used was Gibraltar's hidden underclass, because it was literally like a group of people who were living in genuine squalor, and they'd been reaching out to the government, they'd been reaching out for help, but they were just hearing nothing. It's very sad to see this sort of situation developing.
We've done a few viewpoints on the same subject, and I think some of the images that we shared on TV at that time were also very hard hitting because, for example, some of those places are quite close to, for example, where I live, and I didn't realise that. So those people lived in squalor. Really, there's no other way to describe it. But if we move on from the hard hitting and very important highlighting of these issues that you're doing, there's also been a lot of fun stuff on your podcast. So what's been the most one that you've enjoyed the most recording?
So I've enjoyed going down to business owners, getting involved in their business and recording some content for them. So St. John's Ambulance was quite the highlight. That was good fun. We had like a safety dummy on the floor giving CPR. That was good fun. Any highlights for yourself?
I think for me, it linked with the podcast. We linked up with the ladies that rock the rock. So
Ayelet.
Ayelet, yeah,
Yeah.
she was really nice, and I got to attend the gala dinner on the Sunborn. So yeah, that was a nice experience, and something a bit new for me here. So yeah, that was a good one.
You mentioned on Gibraltar today some upcoming plans. You didn't want to give us too much away because you wanted to come back to GBC.
Yeah.
You're now back at GBC. It's going to be a trade, yeah. Like one
Yeah.
idea and you're back. One idea
Well,
and you're back.
It's funny, the ideas that we did have 6 weeks ago, they've all been squashed because we
Oh.
started speaking to local Gibraltarians and they're like, this idea is not possible because of, there's power dynamics and you're not going to be able to get in there. So that was off. Next one's off, next one's off. So the ones that we did have planned are off, but we've got some new ones. But we're not quite ready yet. We need the permission, the authority to go ahead with it.
Yeah.
But I would recommend to everyone to follow us on our Facebook page is the best place to see our updates.
I don't think you should sell yourself very short because in such a short space of time, you've gathered a lot of followers. You have people who are listening to you all the time, who are very interested in your content. So maybe, you're getting advice from somebody who, feels like that's not possible because that's how we see it with localized. When you're comfortable and you just see things with localized. So I don't know, maybe you should revisit some of those ideas.
Don't let anyone tell you can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, when it's the government and politicians and high-level people telling you that you can, it's a little bit difficult. But we have I think we've found a medium ground with our aspirations and where we are so far. I think we've done quite a lot of work in 36 days, if I'm honest with you. So we're very happy with where we are.
I think what I'll give towards some of the ideas is that coming from the UK, we have Just Eat there. Here
Yeah.
they have Hungry Monkey, things like that. There are gaps in the market that we are looking at and seeing what we can do to help bring these sort of services here, sort of bring Gibraltar up to speed with certain things. So
Like Uber. Let's not mention that too much. But
Yeah, see,
but
these are things we discovered, things like this. And then we realized if a company the size of Uber can't break into Gibraltar, then certain ideas that we had, which was kind of similar to that, that's, half an idea there, that they were like, no, you're not going to be able to disturb the
Like a
taxi.
ride share.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get in. If Uber wasn't able to do it, then you guys
Yeah.
are, so you kind of have to adjust the plan. So
Yeah, I think that's a massive subject in its own right. Like the whole rideshare, taxi license sort of issue in Gibraltar, very long standing.
We're finding that there's monopolies in different sectors of the
Can't
community.
call it monopolies on air.
Yeah,
On live
okay, okay, sorry. Let's not call it that. I can't even think of another word to call it.
I would say that in the local community, whenever you're bringing in an external service, Uber, for example, you have to be respectful of the people that are already doing the job in long standing. We have this in London with the black cabs. Black cab drivers in London
Sacred.
they have to do they have to learn all of the routes off by heart and in their mind. They can't they don't look at apps and things. Then when you have Uber, they come in and they do it just on Google Maps and there's sort of questions on the safety and things like that that just didn't arise with black cab. So it's like the same thing here. You have to respect the people who have been doing the jobs here the whole time and they're sort of put them first. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I guess that is a bit politician's answer for something that's a bit political, but I'll be honest, it's about understanding the needs of the people that are there before you bring something in that could be to detriment to them.
Yeah.
To finish on a positive, I mean, your growth has been fantastic. Since you were last year, you've gained over 10,000 followers or likes on Facebook. What's been the most engaging post or engaging podcast you've released? I mean, you mentioned the Action for Housing, but in terms of, you've been doing this for quite a while on Facebook, so
Yeah.
what's been the one that sticks out to you the most?
The most popular one you'll find if you go on our Facebook page will be the one where I tried to go across the border and I was held back. And then I just done a quick video explaining the situation because at that time I just got my ID, the purple one I think it is, the British citizen one. So I thought I would try it out and I got turned away. So I'd literally just done a video about that explaining what happened and quite disappointed, because I was very proud of my ID. And that one's got so many comments and people coming out with their personal stories as well.
Yeah.
So that has been the most popular video.
I think that's a very big drama for Gibraltarians at the moment, especially those who do not have the all hail, all be red ID card.
That's the one I thought I was going to get because we got married here. So I thought, well, we've been married 7
5
years.
years, no?
You should look into
7
that, I
years
think,
here
eh?
as well.
I think you should look into that.
Yeah, see, this is another hard thing. As well. Yeah. They said I think you have to be here for 5 years.
Really?
Before you get that, even though I've been married for 7 and got married in the Botanic Gardens. So But there you go. So that's one of those. That's why the topic hit so well,
Yeah.
because everyone had their own stories to share. So
Yeah.
But it just come over very authentic, and that works.
Yeah. So what's in store for the future of Hey Gibraltar? Something that you can share with us. None of this like dangling.
Okay.
I would say, I'm not going to 100% go into it, but I'll say that some political figures have reached out, and that gives us an opportunity to put the community's questions directly to a politician in a more relaxed setting,
Okay.
where they don't feel like a curveball's just going to be thrown at them the moment they say something. But we have that way of getting an audience almost directly. We're experimenting more with live streams, so that could potentially be something we incorporate in the future to really get the community's sort of queries and issues.
What
to
we're looking for
politicians.
is people with good causes and project initiatives, organisations that want to reach out and speak to the people directly. There's no filter on my one on the podcast. You can say as you wish. You say as you wish, and just giving people a voice that they can just speak long form with us. And that's it. Just be that community kind of hub for them to get out and speak to people.
Gibraltar loves the phrase "speak freely," so
Yeah.
we want to embody that in everything that we're doing. We want to give that space
Great.
within reason.
Great.
Within reason.
Well, guys, I'm really looking
Fantastic.
forward to seeing what happens in the future and what you can put together.
Probably-
And
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
see you in GVC next week at this rate.
You will see. We'll see.
No, fantastic what you guys are doing, and